It is for this ONC,
Oh, which building?
optical network controller. No, actually I work at basically since like I have joined over here, I am work from home only. Before this I
Oh,
was, yeah,
you never went
I
there.
haven't been
Cisco
there.
office, just now.
Yeah.
Earlier I got there, so that's right. Okay, yeah. So tell me your technical skill sets and how many years of experience, what you are doing in your today activity. Right.
Yeah, so basically, I have in total 5 years of experience into backend, majorly Java development. If you talk about the current technology stack that I have been working on, so it is I am working into a microservice based architecture where almost all the services are into Spring Boot itself. Couple of services are there into Python and Go as well. Apart
Mhm.
from this, for the inter-service communication, we are using the asynchronous mode of communication, that is Kafka. And
Mhm.
we also have into a couple of services certain REST endpoints exposed so that UI can actually fetch or configure certain data onto it. Apart from this, for the testing and deployment part, we are using Docker basically. And for unit testing, we are actually using JUnit along with Mockito framework. On the database side, we are using MongoDB. And apart from this, we are using like for versioning tool, we are using Git, etc. Java version 1.8
So
basically we are
Git
using.
Bitbucket you are using for versioning tool.
Yeah.
Okay. So Docker you worked on, you
Yes.
created image file.
Yes.
So suppose in Docker, by mistake I given some version for Spring Boot, suppose image we are giving.
Okay.
So it's not supported by the Docker container or Docker, what we are saying.
Docker Hub, is it not there in
Docker
that?
Hub. So how you will resolve this issue?
So, as far as I know, suppose you have given some image that is not there on Docker Hub. So, as soon as you do a Docker Compose up or Docker Compose full, it actually tries to fetch that from basically Docker Hub. If it is not there, then it returns some kind of error. Either you have to correct your image or you can locally build your image using Docker build command and then just provide your local image onto that particular place and then you
So
can
what
use
the
it.
command to run that one? Suppose I want to create 10 instance of that one, my microservice. So Docker compose and then after how you are giving the node. If you are familiar then it's okay, otherwise we will move to Java.
I'm not very sure about how we
Okay,
can do
you
that.
are not part of that CI/CD pipeline and deployment that one.
No, actually, I am just supposed to use that
Okay,
Docker, familiar with the
okay,
basic
it's
commands.
okay, it's okay. Just I ask you work on that side.
No problem.
Okay, so Java, which version you work on?
Yeah, so I'm working on Java version 8.
Okay, so you worked earlier version also like Java 6, 7, 5.
Yeah, I've worked on Java version 7 as well.
Okay, so what are the features added in Java 8?
Yeah, so basically the features that are added and mostly we use are functional interfaces, lambda expressions, optional basically, and apart from that we are like using streams more or less.
Okay, so you worked on stream.
Yeah,
So can you share me your screen?
yeah,
Notepad,
sure.
open any notepad or notepad
Sure.
plus plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have one list. List string, don't write unless and until I will tell you. So list string list equal to new array list. So in that list I am storing number of string, the name.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to get the name start with A. Can you write the snapshot of code? Not fully 100% correct, but I want to see your logic by using Java 8, Lambda expression and all this.
Yeah, sure. So you actually want to get the one starting with A, right?
Okay.
I think it will be something like
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
this.
Yeah. Okay. So how will do if suppose I want to count the name start with B? How many names start with B?
You want to count.
Hmm.
For that, I think we can use the count method basically. Mm, start with B. I'm not sure exactly if my count is accessible here.
No, here you can't see the method like it is
Yeah,
drop down.
it will be something like I can simply like get this and then I can do a list dot
No, here
string.
itself you can do dot count after that lambda expression.
This one, right? Here count.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Remove the remaining. Yes. So I have one list, another list integer equal to new array list.
Okay.
Okay. That list containing a number of duplicate elements.
Okay.
So can you remove without using set or map?
You have a list of integers and you want to remove duplicate elements. Okay.
Without using set or map.
Okay.
Set means it's a
Yeah.
mathematical set, so set will not allow duplicate element.
Yeah, yeah.
And map key value, so key always unique,
Yeah.
it will not allow you duplicate. So I want to see your logic, how you will remove the duplicate. But you can use another list, set, set, don't use set, array list, linked list or vector.
Okay, but if in case you want to do it through Java, so I think we have something like list dot stream or something like we have a distinct.
Yeah, distinct, don't use that one.
Okay.
That is similar to set. Set also
Yeah.
distinct, like
Yeah, yeah.
unique always.
So,
So that's why yes. But you can use other list or vector.
okay. Okay, so you want to actually
Next you
remove.
think one or two sets of.
So I have a list of integers. Remove the duplicates of it. Add for first element.
So your big tech or MCA?
Yeah, and BTech.
From where?
It is from UPTU basically.
Oh, where? Which place?
Bareilly,
Oh, Bareilly.
UP. Yeah.
In that Rohilkhand University.
Yeah, that is nearby Rohilkhand. It's actually SRMS.
Mm-hmm.
Shiv
Yeah.
Bharati.
Yeah, it's okay. You can leave it. No need to write the for each for that one. For each you can use and iterate the first list, and then list two dot contains the. You're right. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, so
Then
it's
you add in list two.
yes, yes.
Yeah, that
So
one. Yeah, yeah.
okay,
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I want to just check that one. Similar records. Yeah, it's okay. So I have one object obj1 equal to new object.
okay,
Okay. And again I am writing object obj2 equal to new object. So
okay.
if obj1 dot equals obj2 and I am writing system dot out println hi, then I am writing obj1 dot double equals system dot out println hello. So which one will print?
Sorry, you actually created two objects using new operator, right? And then you did
Yes,
what you
yes, yes.
did in the first one, you did obj one double equal to obj2, is it?
Yeah, anyone you can consider. Then sys out
Okay,
system dot out println sys out.
okay. Inside that, you are printing actually something, and in the second condition, what was that?
obj1 dot equals obj2.
Okay, dot equals.
Yeah. So which one will print? First one is hi, second one is hello.
Hmm, this one. I think both of them will not be printed because see, here we are using double equal to, which is basically comparing the value along with the reference. So here basically you are creating using new operator. So I think both of them will
Mm-hmm.
have a different memory location, due to which the
Correct.
reference will actually fail. And here if you talk about
Mm-hmm.
obj1 dot equals obj2, so here we are calling dot equals method of object class. So in object class it actually compares the reference as well, only the string implementation of dot equals compares the value. So here also it will also compare the reference and it will return false.
Okay. Yeah. So what the mutual contact between hash code and equals method in hashing?
Yeah, so I think if suppose two objects have same hash code, then they must be equal, but that is not necessary that two equal objects have the similar hash code.
Can you repeat?
Yeah, if suppose there are two different objects and they are actually having the same, they are actually equal. So in
Mm-hmm.
that case, they will be having the same hash code value. But
Always.
the opposite of it need not to be the same.
Okay. So I have one map, string integer. I am storing some value. I want to get the value only. How will do? By using Java 8.
You just want to get only the values of the map.
Yes.
Okay, there is some method for it. I think it's dot values or something like that, but I'm actually not able to
Can you
recall.
get directly dot values in map? How to manipulate the map? Forget about Java 8. Before Java 8 also you can use and
Yeah,
tell
so
me.
before Java, basically we get the map dot entry, basically that entry object from
Mhm.
there, and then inside that entry we have get key and get value.
Yeah, so similar way in Java 8 also we can do. Map
Okay.
dot for each key value you can pass and lambda expression and then get key also you can use or get value.
Okay.
For each you use Java 8.
Yeah, sorry, for each is a method in Java 8 basically that you can
Yeah,
use.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Spring MVC flow, can you tell me?
Okay. So, if you talk about the basically the MVC flow, what I think is as soon as suppose a request lands in, it first goes to the dispatcher servlet, and then the dispatcher servlet is basically the front controller onto which a particular request lands in. then it basically the dispatcher servlet is basically it has all the set of, it knows what all mappings are there and which method to call. So it calls your that particular mapping which you have, basically that endpoint mapping, request mapping that you have, and it will actually call it, and then further your business logic and everything is executed. And apart once it is done, so in case of we have in Spring Boot, we have auto configuration. I'm not sure about MVC how it does it, but in Spring Boot, like, we have auto configuration. So into that we have various uh, Jackson to object mappers, things like that. Those libraries which actually convert your response pojos into your JSON format, and then further send to the client that has requested, basically, as a response.
So producing JSON or HTML or XML, like in REST we are using. So what is the tag? Can you write down
Uh,
in get methods?
like we usually have something like this. If we have a REST controller, we do not specify either it response body. Otherwise, it is something
No,
like
no, not response body I am asking. In that one signature, method signature, we are writing produce or consume at the, equal to application slash JSON. You heard about that one?
yeah, it is
Or
accept
yeah,
and
that was I was
produces.
asking.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So suppose my payload containing 1,000 employee. Payload, you know,
Yeah.
generally in web services we are using like REST or that one Postman or SOAP UI. So I'm posting that one, storing in that DB. So can you write down the signature of that methods of that payload methods of your REST controller?
Yeah, sure. Like we can have, like, for example, for getting it, we can have like the @get mapping, and inside double quote, suppose that is you said maybe employees. So I can do a,
Yeah.
for
I
example,
want to store, not getting my
okay,
payload containing 1,000 JSON employee details.
okay.
So from UI or from the any SOAP UI or Postman, whatever you are using, I- from there I am sending that one. So what will be the signature of that methods?
Something then, okay, you are actually sending it. So,
Yeah, you can send HTTP status or something like that. It's okay.
sure.
Here response body or request body?
Oh, sorry, request body, response body will be in
Yeah,
okay.
I surprised how response.
I missed it, sorry. Like this here, suppose you get this entire data, and you simply in your service and DAO layer, you are just saving this.
So you are still working with Cisco or you resign or searching job?
Yeah, actually, I was working with Cisco, but the current project that I have been working on, or you can say since the past 2 years, I've been working on to this. So that has actually been discontinued, and now Cisco guys will continue to work on that. So basically, we are being sent to back to the ODC, and there are not much projects into Java anymore. So I have
So
already.
you know, to be very frank, I'm asking how soon you will join.
Yeah,
My account manager was
so
asking.
actually my last working day is 20th of April, but this project is actually being discontinued in the first week of April itself.
So you already resigned
Yes,
or
yes.
put paper.
Yeah,
So
I'm
you can
serving.
early join also. Means 20 days, 15, 20 days.
not before first week of April, but yeah, after first week of April I'll be on bench. So ideally my manager may release me earlier.
Okay, okay, okay. Continue this. Sorry, I asked.
No problem. Yeah, so here like you can actually perform the save to database operation, and then possibly
So you worked on Spring JPA also.
yes.
So can you write down the some pseudocode or some snap code of this imply DAO, how you will write? Suppose you have a entity class of employee,
Yeah.
some dummy attribute, you just imagine that one. So you write down the Spring JPA of that interface
Yeah.
employee.
Sure. So suppose I have a class employee.
No, first you need to write the interface, na? Employee interface or something that extend your JPA interface of Spring or CRUD. There are two, three we can do, and there you pass that employee which entity object you are going to map. If I'm wrong, then correct me.
No, actually we do it like this. I was just about to create this. So like for example, I've created
You are aware about that thing?
Sorry, please come again.
Are you aware about that way?
Yes, yes, that is what I was actually trying to do. I was actually creating a repository which
Okay,
extends.
leave it. Okay, so microservices is what you worked on. Spring Boot microservices.
Like in microservices, I have do you want to ask like what kind of architecture?
Yeah, can you remove all this when you're not bad?
Sure.
Suppose I am a client. I'm giving you one small scenario. So my application is monolithic. So want to move to microservice.
Okay.
So locally, how we will start that one?
Yeah. So
From scratch, you tell me. Don't think of cloud or any PCF or AWS or GCP anywhere. You just show me the steps or tell me the steps. How will you start your microservices development?
yeah, so first of all, within that monolithic application, we will have to segregate it to a level basically where we can actually create a number of services which are independent of each other and communicate with each other for certain things. Like for example, I have an e-commerce website or something like that. That is initially a monolithic application. Now I want to migrate it to suppose this microservice architecture. So there will be a service which actually has all the user related details. I have to actually segregate the functionality based on that level. Like there will be a service which will actually deal with all the user details and everything that will be
Yeah,
part
suppose
of.
you have the 10 components I am giving you. Your BA decided like 10 microservices.
Okay.
You are going to deploy 10 microservices, develop that one. So suppose employee management or any school management. So
Okay.
student management, admin management, library management, you have 10 things, microservices.
Okay.
So I'm giving you first one login management, like a admin and then user, teachers, and then. So what is your starting point initial for developing any microservices?
So the initial point is basically the API gateway and this service discovery that has to be in place, because every request that will land on from some outside place will actually have to first land on the API gateway. Further, it resolves from the service discovery what all services are up, what are their ports onto which they are running and things like that, which finally hits that service. So first thing is API gateway. Another
So
thing,
locally, how you are doing means in your current or previous assignment. So what you are using? Eureka or any AWS or GCP or PCA?
no, actually we are using Eureka over here.
So Eureka, what is the starting point? Which one you are going to write first? You told service discovery.
Yeah.
So what you are writing, which class you are going to write, which service you are going to write, how you are registering this one, how your discovery server going to come to know it's a discovery server.
Yeah, so basically we have into all the microservices in we actually provide the service discovery URL as part of application.properties, and use the annotation like @
So give about service and all this. Your first entry point, your discovery server. How you will define your discovery server in Eureka, Netflix Eureka?
Yeah, so there are a couple of annotations for that. Like we do have, I think, @ enable discovery server.
So what are the classes in that one? In first one, like if I am wrong, then correct me. First, you are developing for discovery server one springboot application.
Yeah.
First step. So there, what are the classes you are going to write?
Actually,
What are the properties?
basically on the application class itself, we have like enable discovery server annotation, and for I think as far as I remember, and in the application.properties, we
Okay.
basically
Okay, leave it. I am skipping this step. Suppose you have application as you told, that is also partially right. Enable Eureka server. So you started your main class. Your discovery server is started. Whenever you open your console port number 8087, 8080 something, so no one service was deployed. Again, you are going to login services you are deploying for a producer or services. Like a all the user one service, another one is authentication service. Okay. So authentication service, how it come to know? This is going to point to this Eureka server. Where you are going to configure that one?
actually, as part of this application.properties, basically we specify that this is the host name and this is the port onto which the Eureka server is actually running. So as soon as we start the client applications, it actually goes to register itself with Eureka. In case it gets some error, we get the transport
So
exception as part of
you
it.
are using application.properties or YAML file.
Yeah, we are using properties file.
So what is the tag of that one where you are going to define this service is like in main class you are going to define discovery client at the rate in our discovery client, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So my service is going to work like a microservice. So this service, how it come to know this service is going to deploy on this Eureka server?
Uh, Sorry, your client service has the enable discovery client annotation
Yeah.
into it, and you're asking how this service is going to know about the Eureka server.
Yes, means previously it was running. Only once we are running. And number of microservices you are deploying and deploying without restarting your Eureka server.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, then correct me. I'm not 100% correct.
Actually, Eureka, so your client repeatedly tries to, connect with Eureka. If suppose it got some exception that it is right now not able to connect, it will again try to connect after a few seconds. Likewise, that till it gets connected, it actually tries to
Yeah, get
connect again and
connected, but
again.
you need to specify. Automatically, there is no magic like that. One, it will go and connect to them. You heard about default zone?
No.
You never heard about default zone which you are defining in application.property or YAML file,
I
where you are where you are defining that one Eureka server URL?
Yeah, in the application.properties. So I
The
think the
application
key is the
that
default zone.
one. So how the fault tolerance is working? Suppose I have 10 microservices. Out of 10, 2 are down, but it will not impact our overall application. Did you work on that one?
No.
Oh, did you heard about circuit breakers, Luchar,
Yes, I have heard
Zipkin?
about circuit breaker.
Yeah, that one. Okay, Mansi, I think I have done. Do you have any question?
Yeah, I would just like to ask what is the kind of project and technology stack that you guys are.
Technology stack mainly Java, Spring Boot, microservices, cloud. We are looking.
Okay.
Any other question?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, nice talking to you.
Same here.
Maybe another round, depending upon HR.
Sure.
I'll give my feedback.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.